Every man is told to become his best self, but they don't tell you this. Every best self has blind spots. You can be a master of content, but get crushed in court. You could lead men, but still be played by a woman raised on deception. Your power isn't based on where you're strong. It's based on how many arenas you can enter without folding. And if you ever get pulled into a fight in your weakest sector against a man that was built from that exact soil, you better be damn sure that you've prepared. Let's jump right into it today. The masculine imperative. The experiences you had as a child, as a young man, as a young adult, as an adult, all dictate what sector you're strong in. However, you must identify that if you are living your best self or desire to be in your best self is not just the strongest in every sector. You must be trained, you must be prepared, because there are other men that you will be pitted against in this lifetime that have prepared and been structured and built from your weakest sectors. And you will meet those men. You will come across them. And you will inevitably have to go against them at some point. So that means you need to be capable of being strong in every sector, whether all of your experience were based in that sector or not. Brings me into point one. Every man is built from sector-based pressure. Not one or two of us, every single man you come across has been built from a specific sector in which he is strong because all of his experiences armored him to be strong in that sector. And so there is no complete man. There are only calibrated warriors that reinforce their weak sectors. So if you put yourself in the middle, there are 4 boxes around you. And every percent, there is a percent of you that is based in each one of these boxes. However, you can improve the amount of percentage that you have by training, but there's going to be one box that the majority of where you sit right now is that high because of the experiences that you had along your life path or along your journey. These 4 sectors are physical, social, strategic, and emotional. Here's the key problem. A lot of men, including yourself, have over-specialized in one sector rather than the others. Not by, hey, while yes, it is all of your fault, because you must identify that. Some of you must be rewired, right? Because as you're a kid, when you're 17, again, we talk about bloodline and your parents not being able to enforce the right standards that you need as a man to survive. They're giving you the blueprint of a survival template. While yes, it may not be your direct fault, it is your fault for living up to this point, over specializing on one. And society, again, is going to push the immature masculine that emphasizes one over the others, while realistically, you need to have dominion in all of them. Because when you over specialize in one sector, you then breed weakness. And I want you to understand those weak sectors that you have, someone else was built and forged through all of their experiences in that weakness. So your weakness is someone else's strength. And when you come across those men, it's not going to be pretty if you haven't prepared yourself and you haven't done the work to become stronger. And this is why I keep doubling down on the fact that the immature masculine keeps pushing the material lifestyle, the women, the money, the status, who gives a fuck? All of that is a byproduct of these sectors and everything else that we talk about. And if you're new here, I'm Mr. Brown. I don't give a fuck about your emotions. I don't give a fuck about what you've been told in the templates that you live off of just to survive. We are here to thrive. I will crack down every fucking structure that you have that is imperfect. And we're going to build a new one through law. But anyways, the money and the material that you are looking to gain because it's been pushed in your face and told to you all your life that this is what the masculine imperative looks like, you just believe that that's all that matters. That is false. And that is a full-on trap. Because when you have to come against the men that are strong in all sectors, they will be able to take care of you. They will be able to see your moves before you know what you're going to do, simply because they've mastered the same sector that you regard as strong, but also the ones that make you weak. It better apps them the ability to see what moves you're going to take, because they know that you're weak in all of these other sectors. And then it's like, oh shit, I can start predicting moves. Oh, a lot of you just worry about the physical and the social sector. So you want to work on your body all the time. You want the social status, but you have no strategy and no emotional intelligence. And this is why you will always get snared A lot of your favorite influencers don't work on all the sectors. They just don't. They want to emphasize the physical and the social. I don't give a fuck about how you emphasize those. I want all of them. So that when I come across you, you have no option but to bow. And you hear me always say, they must bow because it's true. If a man can out-strategize you, if a man can use their emotional intelligence against you to invoke, and if you're following me on Instagram, you see me doing it every single day when I send DMs. When someone can see the crack in your armor, in your weaknesses, and the sectors that you haven't worked on, I will pinpoint it and touch it. And when you flinch and you get emotional, I now see and have proven to you that I see you. You can't hide anymore. And now you have to take off the mask or double down and try to cover it. And so you get frantic. And what does frantic mean? You're not really taking in emotional intelligence and you're not being strategic with your movements, making you unbalanced and giving me the advantage over you. You have to understand that these are the imperatives of a man. You can't live life perfect in one sector thinking you are going to have the longest ride of your life, because you are going to come against men that are working on all of your weaknesses every single day. And so that brings me to point 2. Weaknesses don't announce themselves until challenged. What happens when a logical built man meets emotional warfare? He hasn't worked on his emotional strategy, his emotions. He doesn't know about how to structure his emotions. He doesn't understand the formula I give you all the time. Thoughts, emotions, actions, reality. He doesn't do that processing of his emotions. He just goes off of logic. What makes the most sense? And therefore, when emotional warfare hits him on the front door, he folds in that sector. When men are proven to have a structured discipline around their emotions, they will always outbeat a logical man, because if we're going on the same path, you pick all the logical points. I have full conviction and understanding and control over my emotions. The logical man will hit checkpoints and get emotional. And while yes, he might freeze to stop his emotions, in that moment of freezing, I've outpaced you, because I regulate my emotions better than you do. Therefore, when you go up against these men that have worked on their emotional warfare and also are very competent in their logical warfare, you get beat. You have to take this into account. You have weaknesses. I don't care how high and mighty you think you are or how low. There are strengths to you and there are weaknesses to you, and you better damn start focusing on those fucking weaknesses, because what comes easy to you always doesn't need to be hit. You have the ability to work on your weaknesses over your strengths. That doesn't mean you should stop training your strengths. That means you need to start paying attention to your weaknesses a lot more, seeing what they're about and how you can improve them, because there are men that will come against you that have mastered your weakness. Let's take it to the next step. Women. This is why the wrong woman can bring a king to his knees that hasn't mastered manipulation. A lot of you want the woman. The immature masculine continues to push the physical and material things to get the woman. The woman then comes, but you haven't mastered the manipulation tactics that she might use on you to bring you to your knees. And a lot of you don't understand that game. A lot of you are softening your tone, softening the way that you operate, softening the movements because of a woman that is using you. Whether she's manipulating you on purpose or not, she's still manipulating you. Manipulation is manipulation. If you don't have full governance over your life and where you're going and the structure that you use, you are losing to a woman that is enforcing her manipulation onto you. And this is why kings go down. And this is why your greats fall. And this is why they lose. It's not that there's not good women out. It's that your filtration of women suck. You have no structure. And you just worried about what? Getting some guts? You really? You'd rather lose it all, lose your momentum. And even if you don't have much, you'd rather lose your clarity on life, lose your voice, lose the money, lose the success, the business, the accolades, the networking opportunities because of women and what they have between their warm thighs. Bro, you need to build filtration into the way that you operate in every part of your life. And filtration just means that you put everybody through the ringer and enforce the strengths that you've been building to understand that means you need to be very competent in many realms because you're going to meet a lot of people. And that's why you might hear, oh, you need street credibility or you need street smarts. Business, no matter how big, does not then equate to street smarts, right? The businessman who makes a fuckload of money cannot outsmart a street smart person if he ever meets him in that arena because he hasn't worked on it. A lot of you see, ooh, logic. That doesn't make logical sense. Okay, cool, but does it make emotional sense? Does it make physical sense? Does it make social sense? Are you even capable to operate in the streets if you needed to? Survival sense? You see what I'm saying? Rounded doesn't exist. You don't just get that. You have to improve on it day after day after day after day after day, because you don't know when you're going to meet the person that is the strongest in the sector that you are the weakest. If you're tired of being strong in one arena and blind in the rest, get into the chamber. So the blueprint first, the discord second, discipline every day after. Point 3, how to become capable across all fronts. Power isn't dominance in one lane. Power is adaptability under pressure in foreign soil. So take an assessment of yourself. Right now, I want you to take an assessment of yourself. What sectors are you avoiding because they remind you of your weakness? Once you have that, understand that that repelling feeling that you get because it's weak doesn't mean you run. That means you lean into it, tap into it, push forward. I need you to start to create stamina around your weakness, because the weakness is just a reminder that you're weak. And so therefore it creates some sort of fear because you know that you're not strong there and you don't like losing your power. So you lean onto your power saying, yep, I'm dominant. No, you're not. You're not dominant at all. You are great in one lane and one lane only. How the fuck could you ever compete against a man that's good in all lanes? Or even, you'll still lose to the man that's proficient in all lanes, because he'll still beat you by using all of the other lanes to compromise you. You must start to lean into the things that repel you because you feel weak in the presence of them. Create that stamina. Force yourself into it. See where you can recalibrate. You should be doing this weekly. For myself and my students, all I push is that every week you need to take time to understand where your strengths are, where your weaknesses are, and what are you avoiding. Those are huge, because the second you allow yourself to be weak for more than a week, you're gonna have problems, because now it's becoming a habit. And the second it becomes a habit, it's harder to then get out of your system. So you nip it by the bud now, and think about it. Your entire life up until maybe this video or a life crisis or something that triggers you, you haven't seen it this way. So you have to now unprogram yourself for all of the years that you've been just working on your strengths, working on your strengths, working on your strengths. No. And so the real thing that will help you take you to the next level is that you must surround yourself with killers of different arenas. So people with strengths in your weakness sector, you want to be close to them. You want to be around them, because not only will they garnish you opportunities and understanding of how to beat your weaknesses, but they will also help you conquer foreign soil in the physical realm and get the material things that you're looking for via the structure that you all have created. When strong men come together, it is powerful as fuck, especially when they're all different. I don't want all of the men to be as strong as me in this sector that I'm strongest in. No, I want you to be strongest in your sector, but also be a whole man, right? I want you to be capable of fierce strength in all of your weakness sectors, but be very naturally strong in one. Because that means we're all strong men in all sectors, but that means when I need to lean on you, I can use you. And when you need to lean on me for my strength and my natural strength, it's almost like instinct kicks in. I want a person that's instinctually powerful in one sector, because he can lean on my strengths because he's weak there, and I can lean on his strengths where I'm weak. You're not just complete. I want you to understand. I don't know who fucking told you that. I don't know who embedded that in your life, that you were strong in all sectors, and that just because you were a man that worked out and you were good looking, that you just had it all. Abso-fucking-lutely not. When you meet us men that have worked and made sure that all of those weak sectors are still being practiced and build stamina and endurance, you're gonna lose. If we were to go back to natural selection in the rawest form of it, that primal style idea that all men kind of lean towards because you're craving that, it's a part of your DNA. That's who you are. Natural selection. You must be competent and have stamina and have understanding of all the things moving around you. You see what I'm saying? A lot of you wouldn't fucking survive. Hey, hell, who the fuck knows if I would survive? We're not there. But what I do know is that in today's time, there's no way you're gonna come against a man that has worked and worked and worked and worked and tried to eradicate all weaknesses in every sector. And when a new weakness forms because it's been challenged, I then dig deeper into it. So you must now start to understand there's a strategical framework that you can use to build these weaknesses. And I'm gonna give it to you right now. When you have opportunities to step into your weakness without being exposed to danger, take them. Make it a controlled scenario. And if you can't do it by yourself, you need people around you that you can throw and get energy from off of so that you can build up your weakness. If you can't stand and understand your weakness and then step into an arena, like, I'm gonna use the most generic one. A lot of you don't like rejection, not only by women, but rejection and period. Like, period. You don't want to go out into business. You don't want to speak to women because you're scared of rejection. If you understand that rejection is your weakness, which is really just confrontation, because you don't want to be met with a no, and that's a confrontation because it's not what you want. So if you have a problem in a sector of confrontation, what I need you to do is start to put yourself in scenarios where you have to now work on your weakness and build it up. It's just like working out. All of it is the same. So work it out by going into controlled substances. Go into the fucking mall. Go up to every woman you see that you find attractive and shoot your best shot. And watch what happens. Don't hide away from the bad bitches neither. I don't care how ugly you might think you are. Do not run away from the bad women. I'm gonna give you another tip of advice that we can do in a different video. Women that are at the top of the tops, men are so fucking scared to go up to them that no one goes up to them. So when you give them a little energy, although you might not be the most handsome, she's going to hear you out. And if your words and all of your other strengths are up to par and you can polarize her enough into her femininity, she's going to fall. Understand that your weaknesses can be improved by strategical placement of yourself into those arenas. And just work on it day after day after day after day after day. Where there's time for you to be confrontational with whoever is in your life. Parents, friends, family, your job, strangers, women. It doesn't fucking matter. Use confrontation to sharpen that sword that's really dull right now. And what you'll realize over a long enough period, it becomes habit. And now you start seeking it. Not that you want to fight, but that you know exactly that you're capable, what you're capable of. This is where I then dig deeper into law, where you need a full structure to keep you in place. Because you think when you start to become capable in all these arenas that you won't feel powerful? Yes, you will. But you have to have a structure to keep that power contained and pressurized and restrained. This is where you see people start lashing out and doing dumb shit. There is a structure you must follow. This isn't self-help, this is war prep. If you don't train every arena, you'll be dragged into one you ignored. And when that happens, you won't get to say, but I'm good at content. You'll just get stripped and exposed and be beaten by a man who's mastered the ground you refused to walk. Be dangerous everywhere or stay quiet. If you felt exposed during this video, good. That means it hit the weakness. Now correct it. Get the link below, grab the blueprint, and enter the chamber. Or keep pretending that strength in one area is enough. Just pray the war doesn't come to where you're soft. Consider yourself warned.